Hi everyone, Dr. Paymer here with Mid-Ohio Functional Wellness. I want to talk to you today about the human stress response. You know, many of us probably feel like we experience a lot of stress on a daily basis. Here in the current world events that are going on, many of us have that stress response skyrocketing through the roof. Well, let's talk about what your body does in reaction to stress and fear. So I want to let you know, before we even get started, that 2% of all disease processes are genetic. Okay, so whether you are going to have certain heart conditions or certain types of cancer or what have you is relying upon 2% of your genetics, which is great news for us because number one, we take the excuses out, and number two, that means that 98% of what happens in your life or how you exhibit health is reliant upon your environment or how you respond, how you treat your body. So health is actually your genetic expression of your current and past environment, something called epigenetics. So your genes are currently responding to what's going on. So let's talk about what is going on. Right now, there's a lot of stress happening in your life. And so your body has to react to that stress. In our nerve system, we have the autonomic nerve system, and you have the two types. You've got the fight or flight, which is your response to stress, and you've got the rest and digest, which is your repair and heal. Well, when you're in a chronic state of stress, that fight or flight is going crazy, and it's as if you're being chased by a tiger all the time. So what happens? Think about what happens when you're being chased by a tiger. Well, your body has to prioritize what are the most important functions in order to keep you alive. So it's going to raise your blood pressure so that you can outrun that tiger. It's going to slow down your digestion because you're not worried about eating your lunch at that point. You don't want to be lunch at that point. A lot of systems get slowed, delayed, and a lot of systems get heightened. Your pupils become dilated so you can look for areas of escape. Your blood sugar is altered, all these things because of stress, because it's like you're being chased by a tiger all the time. Well, what is produced during that? What hormone is produced during those times of stress is something called cortisol. And so your body will take whatever it gets. That's why a lot of times when we are feeling stressed, what do we crave? We crave sugar and we crave fat. Because your body craves what it needs. It doesn't crave fat and sugar, but it's craving things to help it to make serotonin to deal with that stress response. And the cortisol, what happens is it turns off pathways to those other hormones so that it can continue to make cortisol. So things like testosterone get shut down, estrogen, progesterone, all those hormones get shut down, and now we have an overexuberance of stress hormones, which creates breakdown and inflammation in the body. So now your body cannot heal and repair the tissues that it needs to. It also cannot produce enough hydrochloric acid or stomach acid to help break down your foods and help you to absorb calcium. So this is when we see a lot of things like acid reflux, GERD, bone, muscle issues, problems occur because our body is in a stress state and a continual process of breakdown. Well, let me tell you, stomach acid or hydrochloric acid is also the first line of defense against viruses, parasites, and bugs. Okay, and so if our digestion is poor, we're not producing enough hydrochloric acid, well, we're not able to properly create a defense mechanism against those types of things. Stress also decreases your immune function. Your immune system is metabolically expensive, so it takes a lot of energy to be able to run that. And so your body says, okay, I've either got to use this energy to get away from the tiger, or I put all my energy into my immune response, but I'm going to die because of the tiger. Does that make sense? I'm just going to say, yes, it does, since you can't respond back to me. But that's the issue, all because of stress. It creates a systematic shutdown of the entire body, and that's how many of us notice when we are stressed, we get sick more often. When we're stressed, we want to eat sugar, we want to eat fat, we give into those cravings, and so we depress our immune function even more. Excess sugar decreases your immune function for 6 hours. So it's a vicious cycle that has to be stopped. What can we do to help stop it? Well, first thing is we want to look at your adrenal function, and is it functioning properly, or is it under stress? How are we digesting our foods? Do we need to supplement with whole food supplementation to help increase our acid production so that we can break down those foods? You know, there's also a study or research that was published in 2010 that showed that when patients were improving their nerve system function, removing interference through chiropractic, that it increased a specific signaling molecule in the body called interleukin-2. Interleukin-2 regulates the activities of white blood cells that are responsible for immunity, which is obviously a key component to the natural response to microbial infections. Interleukin-2 also helps the body recognize and create specific responses that neutralize foreign invaders. Sound like a pretty important job to you? Yes, it is. So this protein molecule, the interleukin-2, actually existed at higher rates in people who received chiropractic spinal adjustments in comparison to people who did not. Now, that's not, the primary focus of an adjustment doesn't target the immune system. It's not an immune system button. It's not a magic pill for a certain symptom, but it just increases nerve function, which in turn helps health function. Okay, so it's just removing interference from the nerve system, help your body to balance out in response to stress so that you can begin to heal. So it optimizes our potential to heal, and then we supplement to help break down the foods or the energy that we need to eat in order to survive. So I hope that helps break it down for you, put it into perspective. You are welcome to call me if you would like to set up a webinar or Zoom consultation. We can do it in the privacy of my office and your home. Just call us at Mid-Ohio Functional Wellness. You can find us online and on Facebook. Okay, take care.